Hi everyone, it's Marcie Besecker with Marcie Besecker Designs. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I am excited to show you a project that we're going to work on today. And of course, it's Tuesday. Yay! And I'm here. You guys know I'm going to be going on vacation, kind of a vacation, meaning away from my computer, and doing a little family time for Christmas, and so I'm excited about that. I'm just going to wait a little bit for you guys to get on. Hopefully you guys have taken advantage of our year-end closeout. That is still going on and will be going on through January 4th. However, things are starting to sell out, so don't miss out on that. And again, for every $50 or more order with my hostess code, if you put that in, you will go into a drawing for the Darling Donkeys. So that's super exciting. And that is about what I'm going to tell you for business-wise today. So let's get busy. Today I wanted to do a fun card that is not Christmas, not new catalog. So it's going to be fun. It's a holiday card. Does anybody know what holiday it could be? It's not Valentine's Day. I'll tell you that. Not Christmas, not Valentine's Day. Hi to Shauna, Carol, and Darlene. Welcome. So, yesterday was such a busy day. I got all my thank you cards out, the rest of my Christmas cards out because I needed to get my customer Christmas cards done. And it's just been super busy. So, freezing. Oh, Sally. I'm cold here, and it's got to be, I mean, it's probably in the high 60s, maybe mid 60s. I don't know. It's cold to me. But we are staying inside and staying cozy here. All right, so I'm going to do a New Year's card. So this is what we're going to create today. Shaky, shaky New Year's card. So I have some fun tips and tricks on this. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so let's just get right into it and get busy. There's a lot of tips and tricks I'm going to show. And there's one thing I'm going to do to try to see if it works. And I have some changes that I want to do with this card. So it's a shaker card. And so first off, let's just get busy. We have our card base, which I did black. Thanks, darling. And I went ahead and I used the Dainty Diamonds. I thought that was kind of New Year's-ish looking. So let's see. Oh, and you guys notice I don't have purple hair. It was because of my light. This light has an adjustable arm, and it just seems like I'm always moving it to in my way, out of my way, lower or higher, and it probably just caught the screen just right. We are going to use a lot of dies. If you guys look closely, there is no stamping on this card. All right, so these are the dies that I'm using, and I'll have everything listed. So these are the dies. Stitch Stars, Painted Labels, Snow Globe Scene, Playful Alphabet, and Word Wishes. So we are going to be using a little of everything. Now, what I highly suggest with your word wishes is that is really hard to figure out what says what. So I did them on the back with the double-sided adhesive, and I just slipped a piece of paper in here that has all of the words that are in this set. So if you come across a die set that just is really difficult to figure out what it says or what the image is, put it on paper and it'll come out a lot easier for you to just glance at and see what it is. All right, so I took the snow globes. I did just a tiny bit ahead of time to show you. I went ahead and figured out kind of where my image was. I always do my die cutting first, and then I emboss. And somebody just asked me that the other day, and I was thinking of heat emboss. So if you meant the dry emboss like this, I like to die cut first. That way my embossing doesn't get smashed going through another time. So it just dawned on me that you might have meant this kind of embossing. So that I would do after you cut. All right, so I did that. We're going to pull in one of our domes here. Oh, that's our sequins. One of our snow dome shaker domes. So I had a bunch of these. I'm going to pull one in here. So we need one of those. I like to put them back in the plastic because it keeps these from getting scratched up. So just do that. All right, so our sequins for everything, we're going to use those a little bit later. And I was kind of like, I was thinking I was going to put snowflakes in there because I was like, what do I have? But I'm going to show you some oopsies that I did on this one and then show you what I would recommend doing. So let me just move this over here so it's not such a glare. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in our little mini. I get a little bit of die cutting done. I am going to take, and one of the things I recommend is use the double-sided adhesive. There's a lot of little intricate pieces like our red up here, our numbers, the stars in the background, this base here, so those items, and then if you look on the inside, this also, and I did it in gold because I do have gold inside here with our sequins, so it just kind of ties that in. All right, so I went ahead and added that on the inside. So we are going to get our plates. I'm going to go to our snow globe, and we are going to use both of these. So we're going to use this one on the black. So let's do that first. I want to make sure where my adhesive is, and it's towards the bottom. And I like to run these back and forth because they are so intricate. I like to go forward, and then I just bring it back. That way it just kind of like going through 2 times, and there's our image. And when you have the adhesive on the back, 2 times is really the way to go. I'm like, I'm not throwing this away. Look at, that's a whole piece of goodness. So I'll just set that aside. All right, so let's poke this out. Everybody ready for Christmas? What are you guys eating? We were debating on what we were doing because we have one family having one item, and then we were like, that's what I wanted, and then I'm like, well, I don't want that 2 days in a row. So we're kind of changing it up a little this year than what we would normally do. And I know not everybody's having family. Linda, hi, how are you? I still need your address, dear. Snow, that sounds too cold for me. Whew. All right, so with the black glitter, I'm going to tell you, it's a little difficult to see. I should do it from the back side so I can pull it all out. And I'm thinking that even with this adhesive, it could have probably gone through a 3rd time, but that's just because this little plastic likes to hold on. It's much easier to poke out from the back, because then you can see where you need to poke at. All right. Guess I should have done this ahead of time. I'm going to run it through one more time. I think it's going to be easier. Hello, Tashana. All right, one more time I'm going to put this through because that plastic just likes to hold on, and then with the glimmer paper being a little thicker, I'm going to just put this back through. I am not a snow person. I used to snowboard. My husband is an avid snowboarder. And we used to go, once I hurt my shoulder, I was like, yep, that's it. Hi, Stephanie. Are you home already? Or are you texting and driving? Shame on you. I know Stephanie was just here, so. I am so ready, Debbie. Okay, so my granddaughter told me she wants a scavenger hunt for her Christmas presents. So my husband's like, well, let's just hide them in a big trash bag somewhere and we'll just give her some hints. And I'm like, I'm kind of thinking she's wanting all of her presents hidden in different locations. Is kind of the feel that I got. So we're kind of debating on what we're going to do about that. So sounds fun though. I think it'll be fun. All right. And then we're taking family pictures on Sunday. So that will be a lot of fun. All right. So the black is done. The third time was the way to go just because with the glimmer and the adhesive, did you guys see how easy it was once I did that? So I would definitely do that. All right, so there is that. So we've got that part done. And now let's work on our 2021 and our little red pieces here. So we're going to pull out, let me see, where are we? Okay, so we're going to pull out our stars and our playful alphabet. We're going to pull out the 2, the 0, and the 1. Oh, there it is. And my 1. I thought I had it missing. And then we're going to also pull out, you get 5 of these, but we're going to pull 4 of them off. 1, 2, which is nice because you can cut them all at one time. All right. I'm going to put this in sideways because I'm going to go back into here. Oh, this is my gold I was going to use and didn't. All right, so again, this has adhesive on the back. All right, so we are going to do our 2, our 0, and our 1. All right, then, oops, there's my other star. I save them. If I don't use them, I save them because I will use them later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add our little red accent pieces. And I'm going to try and get as much, I'm going to turn this guy. Try and turn them and get as much use of your paper as you can. So I'm going to turn this one like this. Without going over each other. You don't want to mess up your dies, but I want to use as much paper as I can. All right, and my 1. All right, so there we go. I'm good with that. And again, I'm going to go through a couple times. This is the foil. It's a little thinner, but it does have adhesive on the back, so I just like to make sure that they cut really well. All right, so let's see what we have. Looks like everything cut really well. And then don't lose them. That was my thing last night. Oh my gosh, the little one of these little things came off and I could not find it, and I'm like, I just had it. And I knew it had adhesive on it. I just could not find what I did with it. So I'm talking to my husband later last night, and it was on my sleeve, on those sweater I was wearing yesterday, sitting on my sleeve, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I looked all over for this. He was laughing at me. So when they have adhesive, they will stick, and then you gotta try and find them. All right, so I have 2, 0, and a 1, so I need another 2, so we're going to take this 2 out. Remember, all these have adhesive on them. All right, so we're going to put this back in. Another 2. And I use, other than my embossing folder, and other than the globe the first time on this paper, because I needed this paper was too wide, I used my larger machine, and everything else is on the mini, which I love because this mini is bigger than the minis I've had in the past. So I absolutely love that. So I'm going to move that over for the time being. Let's get all our pieces out and put our dies away so we don't lose them. All right, there's our 2, our 0, our 2, and our 1. And so there's a couple little tricky things I did to get this to work. And then there's a couple things I learned after that I want to do differently. So I'm going to explain those to you. Because I thought, oh, I'm being so clever, but I was clever on step 1 and then I didn't follow through to step 2, and I'll tell you what that is that will make a big difference. Okay, so there's 1, 2. Let me get these all cleaned out. So there wasn't a lot to do ahead of time. I did do the globe cutout and the embossing folder, but everything else I thought I wanted to show you exactly what I did because, oh, here it is, because there's a lot of little tricks to this. All right, we're going to clean this part out. I try to leave the adhesive on the back until, you know, the plastic until I'm ready to use it, but I want to clean them out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm not going to lose those. All right, so let me just put these back. Where did my stamp set go? Here we go. And now we're going to use this large die. All right, let me put these back so I don't lose them. 1, 2, 3. What's nice is there's 4 of them, there's 5 of them in here. And you don't have to keep doing them over and over. All right, so now we have that, and now our numbers. Put those back away, and we are good to go. Because you know, if I set these aside, I will lose them. Especially these little numbers. All right, so we have our 2021, which I almost did 2020. Oh gosh, don't want to do that again, right? All right. So we're going to let's move this over. All right, I have this out and I want to try something before I cut this out because I already cut this out. I'm using the adhesive sheets, and these adhesive sheets are different than any I've tried before. And I'm going to see if this works. The way, oh, let me wipe this off. The way our adhesive sheets are is it's not like a full sheet of adhesive. So I think you could take a piece of adhesive and put it on an item like this. So let's start out with this little piece I have cut. And this, if you touch it and take your finger off, it's going to come off. So I'm kind of thinking if I do this and pull it up, it's going to adhere. Well, I probably should be a little more careful because it is super delicate, but I'm thinking it's going to stick just where I want it. And I wasn't going to use it with this. I was going to use it with a word, but since I had this. Okay, so it's kind of messy though. See how that is? See how all that extra webbing's in there? But I just kind of thought maybe if I did it like that. No, I don't like how it's doing it because see how it's all webbed? I mean, we probably could if it was more of a solid word, but I don't want to do that. So scratch that idea. Now you know that that's a super mess and we don't want to do that. But I thought about it and I thought, that might work. But instead, I'm going to pull out, well, let's do our words before our stars because I don't think I have a piece pulled out yet for that. So now we're going to pull in our plates again. So there's a little bit of die cutting, but once the die cutting's done, we're going to pull out our words, which are Happy New Year's is 1 die, although it comes out in 2 pieces. And then happy. So we're going to do happy over here. Let's see if we can get New Year's on the same. Let's turn this around, see what we can do. Yep. I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to confirm there's adhesive. There's not adhesive at the top, only on the bottom. So, all right, we're going with that. Okay. Words, I'm going to go through twice again, once through, once back. I think that's fine. I think the glitter was the one that really needed the extra push there. All right, so here is our happy. We'll set that aside. And here, look how nice he's cut out. Here's years. And new. So that's all done. I don't think our stars are going to fit on here, but you know what? We're going to go with this because I always had to cut some off anyway. So with the project we're doing, we don't need this little end. So let's go for this. All right, oops. All right, so we're going through once, and I'm going to come back. And there we go. All right, so don't throw your little pieces away, and I'll show you what I mean on that. I'm just going to set this aside. We're still going to use that a little bit more, but when you take this out, just be super careful and keep your stars because we're going to use those. We're going to add those inside of our globe, but don't take the adhesive pieces off. Just leave them like they are when you take them out. So pop them out. Okay, so I only have 4 right there because the other one I cut in half, which is okay. And then we'll just clean our part off. This is where that adhesive things split, so that's fine. And you'll see what I mean. We're just going to put this in the background on the inside. So we'll just clean this up really quick. Hi Susan, hi Heather. All right, just about done. Now the year part is kind of a tricky thing that I did with that. So I'm leaving the adhesive on. We're just going to set that aside. And we will move all of this. All right. We are going to do that next. I'm laughing. Yesterday, it was so funny on how many different die sets I was using. And I was just kind of going along like, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with that? And then I came up with this. And I was like, wow, look at all these dies I used. Okay, so now we're going to this painted label. And in here, we're going to use this and this second to the largest label. So we are going to use this and have 2 of them. Hi Jeannie, welcome. All right, we're going to put this on here. I do not have adhesive on this. You do not need adhesive, and we want 2 of them. So let's just run this through. All right, there's one. How pretty those are. All right, there's one. I like to poke these out because it just gives a much better image the second time instead of having the holes filled with paper. Oh, good stuff. All right, so then we have the second one. Now note, and again the measurements will be on my blog, but the inside of the paper of the card is a little shorter and a little thinner. So it's like 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And the reason is because I added 2 of these to the bottom. So 2 of them made the card just a little shorter, and then I cut the side to just get this to go right here. So it's just a little smaller, just to kind of add that on there. All right, for our 2001, what I did is I'm going to take this die, and I'm going to take just a piece of acetate. Whatever you have works. Like this isn't the, I mean, it's been around, it's a little scratched up, but that's okay. We're going to put this on the top. We're going to run it through the die machine, but we are not going to go over here, okay? So let's just do the top, and because it's acetate or clear window sheets, whatever you've got there, is I'm going to run it through a couple times. I want to make sure it cuts really well, but not over the last. You can tell it just starts to go up the hump on that last part. You do not want to cut that, okay? And I just go back and forth a few times. Let's see where we're at. Oh, that did not want to cut. Okay, so let's do it again. And this isn't, I forgot what I did last time is I took a little piece of paper, just an extra piece, and I just put it, I think I did it over the top. Let me see. Just a little extra shim there is what I did. Hopefully it's lined up. Now again, you're going to go over it, but not that last piece. All right, so now this will break off. And now what I did is I just took some scissors and just cut maybe a 1/2 inch past, okay? And then I brought this down and I just cut right here inside, and then I cut on this side. And you might need to just kind of loosen that up a little bit right there. And then I did that. So this is my little panel that, let me see if I can find a dark piece of paper. Here we go. So it's just a piece of the plastic with the little tab at the bottom. So just don't cut that all the way down. And I think we're done with the machine, I think. So we'll set that aside. All right, so the first thing I did, make sure you have all your little pieces together over here. You're also going to need a piece, and I think this is like 3.5 by 3 1/4, and you want it to fit in the back. You just want to see that pretty shimmer in the back, kind of like, I mean, you really can't see it in here, and I'm going to show you a couple things different, but it's like a night sky, or, you know, you just want everything else to kind of pop. And I went ahead and put adhesive on it this time. I also did my white liner around this side, and you'll see, because we're going to adhere our acetate, and I'll show you all of that in just a second. I think I need to clean this acetate a little bit. I think it's got a glue dot on it or something, looks like. All right, so it's going to be in the middle. Thanks, Heather. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our numbers on. So let's start with that. And here's our 2 and our 1. So what I found easiest is to take your pokey tool or whatever you have, and we're going to take this off, and then we're going to do the 2 and the 1 first. All right, so just take your 2 and you're going to go pretty close to the edge, but not completely, and you want it kind of up. All right, and then this is where I bring in my something to do a little bit of a, oh, you know what I forgot? We want also a piece of this on acetate. So I want the acetate. What did I just do with it? All right, let me find, oh, here it is right here. So I want one more piece of acetate out of this image here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to adhere the black, this one, on top of that, okay? And I can't even remember if this is one that, yeah, this one should be the one that I have another one around here that doesn't have tape on it, so I hope this is the one with tape. All right, so we're just going to cut another one of those out. I'm going to add my green paper just in case. I do too, Debbie. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Here's our piece. And we'll add that over there. All right, now I think we're done with the machine. It's so handy to have this little machine just right here. Love it. Okay. So back to this. Now we're going to put that on our line here. Don't look at this down here because I didn't cut this straight and I don't really care. I really want to make sure that my 2 is straight. So just kind of, you know, make this straight as you can and then have a guideline to what's straight, because you want it to be as straight as you can. Oh, Carol, no problem. I'm glad you made it. All right, so now I'm going to do the 1. So I like to just adhere it to the end. Make sure you're on your line. Get your image fairly close to how you want it. And I'm going to do the 1. I'm going to do it just a tad closer. Hopefully my head's not in the way. All right. Now we're going to do the 0. Again, just line it up best you can, close as you can. We're going to do our 0. And that one, I don't push it down. Just lightly put it on there. You want to put your 2 on there and just kind of make sure you have everything spaced the way you want it. Okay, again. We're going to go in and put our 2. I'm good with that. I think our 0. There. So there we go. There is our 2021. Yay, right? We are waiting for it. Let's let it be better. All right, so now we have this. So now what I did is we're going to bring our globe in. We're going to go ahead and take off the top adhesive part. Who has not made a card with these globes? Okay, you take, there's 2 pieces of adhesive. There's the top one and then the bottom one. Okay, so we're going to do the top one first. We're going to get our card in here, slide this down, and just make sure it's on there really well. Oh, Heather, it's so much fun. All right, the next thing what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my adhesive sheet, my acetate here, my clear window, and then we're going to take the adhesive off the back. You want to be super careful. Sometimes with paper, you think you're sticking this in to get the adhesive and you're pulling off the paper. Oh, Heather, that's okay. You could do this card without the dome, okay? You could just do this flat and not do the dome. And just put a little piece of acetate. Cut out your window and put a piece of acetate and then just put everything flat. All right, so I am going to start this. Okay, now I got to pull it in a little bit so I can see. I'm going to start this on the acetate in the corners on both sides. And then I'm just going to roll that off and kind of hold it. And I'm just focusing on the bottom. And it just really goes on there very, very nicely. And now we're going to put this on our globe. So the last one, I feel like I did it a little bit crooked, so I'm really going to pay a little better attention to this time. But if you look, can you tell what kind of adhesive I used underneath this? Even in person, I mean, if you really, really look, I can tell, but that's because I'm a crafter and I can tell. But all you have to do is add liquid glue. You're not really going to see it. Oops, I got to clear off the top a little bit. It just adheres really nicely. So just take your liquid, and I'm just going to do it across the bottom. I'm going to swirl it in the middle, and I'm going to go across the top. Just like that. And if it squishes out, it's okay, because yesterday I just did it all over the place and it was fine. But this one, I think I can just kind of hide it. And I'm just going to align it where I want. I'm going to hold it up a little bit. And just kind of make sure it's where you want it. All right, so there's that. The next thing what I'm going to do is we're going to bring our card in. You know what? Let's do these first before we adhere it. So we're going to do our little red pieces. So they don't fit exactly in the corners. So what I did is I hold the tip of it and I just go until your two corners. I point it to the corner. So I point this to the corner, and then these two pieces will barely touch the outside edge. Okay, we're just adding a little accent. We're adding a little bit more red just to kind of tie all the colors in that we're using. Okay, so same thing, except I don't want to do it left-handed because that might turn out really bad. My dog's growling, so we're probably going to get somebody at the door here soon. All right, so again, point it to the corner, and then just get your two little pieces to touch the edge. And I think this just kind of ties in the red once we start putting in the red. And then I was like, do I just do silver and black? And then I thought, no, red would be kind of fun. And then I was like, oh, but what about gold? So I decided to tie in the gold. And then once I pulled the sequins out, or the sequins for everything, I was like, oh, it's perfect because it has gold in it also. All right, then our last corner, we're going to point it to the corner. Again, same thing. And put that on there. Okay, so now we're getting there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put our Happy New Year's on here already. Might as well, let's just finish this front. So we're going to pull this off. This is where that double-sided adhesive comes in so nice with these little delicate dies. Bonjour! Welcome back. All right, we're going to just put that over here. This one's a little closer to the edge. That I probably put this up just a little bit more, but that's okay. It's going to work fine. All right, so we're going to take this off here. All right, let's see. I turned captions on. Somebody had asked me and messaged me for captions. So Hopefully, if you are watching and you requested the captions on, I've been trying to be very adamant about remembering to do that for you. All right, so I'm going to tilt this. You just kind of want to put it in wherever it's going to fit. New Year's. All right, poking our little silvers out, and that's also going to help you just take this right off. Just make sure it doesn't poke on the back. See how my little insert there? Because then you want it to lay down straight. All right, so New Year's. All right, so there we go. So there's our words. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that black piece, because this is going to go on top of here. All right, and so this, yeah, Janet, you're going to have to watch. There's a lot of little tips and tricks on this one, but I'm getting to the mostly the tricky stuff now. All right, so see how pretty that looks in the background, the black, and it just kind of ties in with all the sparkle paper down here too. So what I want to do now is I want to pull in my stars and just kind of adhere them. Now, the problem I had on my last card is I did not push them down far enough. So I'm just going to set this over here. I'm going to peel off the back. So again, we use the adhesive. Highly recommend that with this type of a project. It is easier to pull it from the end than it is the middle and pull it up, because your project is gonna, your piece is gonna bend. So just start it at the end. Again, you can see the pieces that I really didn't need it, and I cut it off, which is fine. But I need this part down here too. So make sure you get your adhesive everywhere. All right. And now peel it back, and that is the best way to not mess up your project, because otherwise it's going to bend up and it can stick to each other and just become a mess. All right, so make sure you get it all off. There's still a piece right here, I think. Maybe not. Nope, that sticks. Okay. All right. No, maybe not. It's hard to tell when it's so little. Let me lay it down. You want to get all of that adhesive stuff off. Maybe it's off. Okay. Well, I think that part's going to get cut off anyway. All right, so we're going to just lay this like right here. Okay, just kind of get an idea of where it's at. And we are going to really burnish that down. This is what I did not do on the other card, and my confetti is behind this. So what I want to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I am really going to rub it in. Let's open it up. Just rub it in there the best you can, and make sure that you get all those little pieces burnished in there. Okay, you're not going to see this part, so don't worry about it. And now I feel like it's really glued on well. I mean, you don't want to scrape the silver off, but you definitely want to make sure that it's on there. Okay, so now this has my adhesive on the back. So again, we're going to make sure that this is centered, and the stars up high are good, because the year is going to go there. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there, so I know that's where I want to adhere this. All right, so we're going to take all of this off. And this just happened to be a piece I had adhesive on. You do not have to use adhesive on it. I just did because I already had adhesive on this piece, and I thought, well, I might as well just use it. So I'm going to just center right where my line was, where I put, and I'm going to put that on there. All right, so now when this goes down, you're going to have those pretty stars at the top. Now, this is where your 2021 is going to come in. All right, so it's on a piece of plastic, and that's fine. So honestly, on this one here, so like I said, you can tell I have my sequins behind my stars because they didn't stick that great. And I didn't really push them down that hard, and I really didn't think about it. So you want to make sure you do that. The other thing I did is I put little tiny foam squares behind the numbers to adhere them to the back. And I don't think I need to do that because it's on acetate. It's on the window sheet. It's going to stick up. And if the sequins go behind or in front, I really don't care. I prefer them not to get stuck. So I don't think I'm going to put adhesive. So that's the other thing I think I'm going to switch up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Seal Plus, and I'm going to really kind of put a couple of layers right there on the bottom, and I'm going to do some layers on the top. Well, once I stick it down, I'll do it on the top because I could use my plate, but so we're going to lightly lay this. I want to make sure it's centered. All right. And I also want to make sure that this is going to be straight. Okay, so it's lightly tacked down so far. And center our paper where it's going to be adhered on. And I'm thinking, let me hold it up, that I like the way that looks. I might move it to the left a tiny, tiny bit. And I think that's going to be good. So, like I said, the acetate is just a label. You have everything glued. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down. It is on glimmer paper, so be really good about getting that on there. But we're also going to take off all of our tape that we put on the back, right? So put your tape on, your tear and tape all over. Oops. Oh, let me concentrate here. So some of it was stuck underneath this, and that's okay because we're going to take that off too. So just take off. And I put extra on here. I just like to make sure. I thought this was really a fun New Year's card. I mean, a lot of people don't send New Year's cards, but wouldn't it be great to send them and receive them this year? I was super excited about this. Okay, now this is the fun part. I took the stars, so make sure you take your silver stars, and they do have adhesive. I mean, you could adhesive them down if you want. I'm leaving the adhesive on there. I'm just laying them on. All right. And then I also have this. Now, yesterday, I put them in here, and then I put the paper on top. Make sure you blow out all the dust you've got in there. Okay. Now, what I did is I took out some red. So this is how these come. They're called Sequins for Everything, which they are. Look at that, St. Patrick's, Christmas, Valentine's. I love these gold ones, but I didn't use those. I used the more of the gold, the white, the silver that's right here, and just kind of tuck them in. And I took some red. Oh, Linda, me too. All right, we're going to put those in. Like I said, I did this different yesterday. I did it a different way, but I found a couple things that I did I would have preferred to do a different way. So we're just going to add those in. And I added a lot. And even though we've got those silver big stars in the background, I just really wanted this to have a lot of bling. So I'm just going to move everything to the center. You notice that the 2021's tilted forward a little bit, and that's okay. All right, we're going to put those all like that. We have everything off except this piece. So I'm ready to take that piece off now. That's just an extra adhesive that's really going to keep all your fun stuff inside your globe. All right, so I'm looking at it, making sure I didn't forget anything. All right, we're going to flip it over. Now remember, you're looking at the middle, but you also want to make sure that your image, your cardstock is centered the best you can. All right, get everything pushed down. Remember, this still has that adhesive underneath, and now it's kind of dry and tacky, so it's even better to push it so it really sticks. All right, and there is your 2021 card. But what we're going to not forget is the inside. So remember, I told you the inside is cut a little smaller, and I'll put the measurements on my blog, but it's just slightly. Let me tell you what it is. It is 4 and, oh, I'm going the wrong way. No wonder that sounded wrong. 3 7/8, and I think it's 5 and like just under 5 1/8. Okay. Hi, Nola. All right, and then, so what we're going to do is, here is our piece of paper that's going to go on the inside. So what I did is take your, let me pull in my silicone map, take your white liner and just go right along the top portion of the gold. Okay, and then I tear this piece off, and then I do the same with the next piece. And don't forget, you guys, if you put an order in, I would love it, at marciebeseckerdesigns.com. And if you can go to my blog, marciebeseckerdesigns.com, and the button's on the right side that says Shop My Online Store, and right below that is my current host code. I would really appreciate that. All right, and I have 2 videos all ready for you guys for when I am missing in action. My granddaughter wants to do a video, so we will find something fun to do. All right, so I just go to the edge and to the edge, and then same on this one. Take this off. I just curl the paper a little bit, the plastic, and you're going to be cutting some of this off, so don't worry about it. So we're going to go right up to the edge on this one. To the edge, and then just cut it off. And you're going to have an open edge right there, and that's okay. It's almost open. It's kind of right there. And then I just added more adhesive on the bottom. I use the globe for so much. It's called a snow globe scene, but I've done it for a couple of different cards, but look how fun that is. And I tend to always go chintzy on my confetti on the inside. And so I want to make sure this time that I put a lot, but I did leave the stars in the back so that at least there's something there. Like if this is all down, you're still going to see some pretty right there. All right, so we're going to open our card. Let me move that out of the way. And we're just going to tie in our little bit of gold bling there. All right, so we're going to put that in there. And you could add adhesive underneath here if you want. You could do the double adhesive so it lays down, but I think it's fine and it's safe on the inside. It ties in the gold that's in here. And if you wanted to, you could take out the gold, just use the white, the red, and the silver. I mean, it's up to you, but I like gold and silver. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And if you realize, there's no stamping. None. I didn't do any stamp. Okay, now I'm going to have a really glare on here now. But there's no stamping. I wanted to do something different than Christmas, something different than the new catalog. And I just thought that this card was so much fun. And especially this year, I think everybody is looking forward to the new year. Thanks, I'm in our truck. Debbie, I'm not sure if you're asking me, but this is all dies. There's no stamping in this card. So here we go. There is our, so you'll see the difference. This one doesn't shake as much. I mean, it does, but not quite as much because it all got stuck behind my stars in the back. I thought they were stuck down enough, and obviously this one has way more movement, which is a lot more fun. Just make sure you really burnish those down so that you can get more movement. And I did not adhere the 2021 down. It's on the window sheet, which is stiff enough to stay. You're gluing it down here. It's not going to go anywhere. And so I think that kind of works out really nicely. You could make it taller and do the 2021 in the middle. I was concerned about that because I didn't want the sequins to get stuck behind. But now looking at this, you could probably adhere it on your left and your right and put a banner across the middle on your window sheet, and then you would still have the shaking all over. I would just be concerned that maybe that didn't adhere well enough, but I guess if you took it all the way across, it probably would. Why are we hearing it over again? I'm not sure, Amy, what you're saying. Is anybody else having issues? I think it's festive too, Jeannie. I thought it was a lot of fun. And like I said, this is kind of out of my normal, and I don't think I've ever sent a New Year's card, to be honest. But my granddaughter loves shaker cards, so I think I'll be giving her one of these for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll give you a sneak peek, if you want, to another card. It's completely doesn't have anything to do with New Year's. I want to make sure my lights turn so I don't have purple hair. Well, this one is going to be coming up in a video when I'm gone. So I will be showing you guys how to make this cute little card. So be watching my YouTube so you can see it when I'm visiting with my granddaughter. And I thought this one was super cute. I did this one. I really love this set. I think it's so cute. And the lips and the lipstick, the stamping images are so fun. So that's another fun one that I did. I didn't do a video on this one, but I did do another video that is coming up. Don't forget, for every $50 order with my host code, you will go into a drawing for this cute little darling donkey set. And it is right here waiting for a home. So I will send this out January 5th to whoever wins that drawing. And don't forget, if you comment in my last video, so if you go watch my last video, comment in there and you will go into a drawing. I would love it if you come back and comment here. As I've mentioned, that's kind of how YouTube gauges your watching and that kind of thing. My granddaughter is 5. She'll be 6 in February. And she just cut her hair. So it's like to the shoulders and she really likes it. But she's growing her bangs, she told me. So, yeah, no purple hair, but watch. Want purple hair? Look at this. I figured it out. It took me a while, but let me see. There it is. Woo! Purple hair. After After I got off the video with you guys, I was like, you should have seen me. I was like, where is that purple coming from? And then finally when I went over to the light, I'm like, that light's always on, but it was just angled at just the right. Yeah. Janet, she wants to do a scavenger hunt for her Christmas presents. So not only are we baking, not only are we doing Christmas dinner, but she wants to do a scavenger hunt for her gifts. And I told my husband, I'm just going to put them in the dryer, and then I'm just not doing laundry the first week. And he's like, well, I don't think that's going to work. But I thought it was a great idea. All right, so grand year-end event, the giant year-end event. Don't forget, if there's something you're interested in, go get it. Things are selling out. There are things, and they're not coming back. Okay. Also, if you've heard about the Whisper white paper leaving, it's leaving because the supplier has closed their business. And so we already have white paper coming. Don't worry, it'll be here shortly. Oh, Tashana, it's the best thing in the whole world. Oh, Debbie, I don't know why. That's a bummer. I have another friend that loses, gets kicked off all the time when she's on her phone. But she's the only one, so it's really weird. Oh, yeah. Well, I have quite a ways to go to be a great grandma, thank goodness. But I couldn't imagine not being a grandma. This is the best in the world. So, anyway, so don't miss out on the sale items. If there's something you want, go check it out. Oh, the Whisper White. We are getting more white paper, so don't worry about it. It's just the supplier had to close their doors. COVID probably, I don't know. But so be patient with that. They are still selling it as far as I know. I know they're sold out of the thick white paper, and they're sold out of the note cards. And so other items are still available if you need them. But they're already waiting for the new white paper to come in. So we will have it very shortly. Oh, nothing wrong with the fur mama either. I have a fur kitty and a fur puppy. Oh, my puppy is right here. Come here. You want to say hi? This is my fur puppy. His name is Charlie. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. He's like, I want to go back to sleep. Okay. Go back to sleep. So that's Charlie. So when you hear him, that's why. Not so many worries. But anyway, you guys, let's see what else. Obviously, I would love to have you join my team. If you're interested, let me know. I can help you answer any questions you want. If you would just like a discount, this is the business for you. Why wouldn't you want a discount? When I first started going to parties and doing Stampin' Up! With a lady, and I took classes and stuff, and then finally I was like, why am I not getting a discount? And when I first signed up, I just did it as a demonstrator just to get my discount. I didn't promote it. I didn't do anything but get a discount. Well, then my friends started, kind of getting involved, and I was ordering a lot more because I was doing stuff for the military, as I've mentioned before. And so I just decided, I was sharing it with other people. Charlie is a multi-poo. So he is a purebred. I think the poodle the Maltese had papers, and the poodle was a purebred but didn't have papers. But we didn't care. We just wanted a small, cute little puppy. So, okay, I'm trying to read too. So anyway, yeah, so that's how I started out. I started out as just, getting my discount. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to have anything else to do with the business. But as I grew, my life changed, my kids were gone, I'm retired now. I mean, this is what I wasn't retired when I started as a demonstrator. I worked also. But now Stampin' Up! Is my business, and I'm lucky enough to do that. but you can make it what you want. If you want to do a small class or just, offer it to your friends to purchase from you, whatever, it's whatever you want it to be. So, totally worth getting a discount, and there's no downside really. There is the quota to meet, which is a lot easier than you think. And if you don't meet the quota and you're going to drop back into being a customer, then that's fine. I mean, you gave it a try, and now you kind of know what it's about, and life changes, and if that changes and you want to come back, then come back. So it's no worries, no pressure. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. And that is what I have to say about that. Now, if you wait until January, you can get 200 sheets of 6x6 paper for free if you join in January. Obviously, you'll get to buy all the new goodies and everything because they're available January 5th. If you sign up now, you will be able to use the end of all of December towards your quota. So anything you buy this month will all go towards your first semester quota, which is, or your first quarter, not semester, which is January through March. So that'll all be included in that, and you get to order the new items now. So discounts are the best, Linda. They really are. I mean, why? I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. That's what I told myself when I finally took the plunge to do it. I was like, why did I wait so long? Because it's totally worth it. So, and you get to see the stuff early, and you get the goodies. I received my catalog today, so if you are a customer and I put you on the list to receive the catalog, it goes straight from Stampin' Up to you. I received mine today in the mail, so you should be receiving yours too. Hopefully you do. If you don't and you want a catalog, let me know, and I will get one out to you. All right, everybody, thank you again. My granddaughter comes tomorrow. We will be doing a video, so. And if they go to visit family, I'll be doing a video then too. So make sure you subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll get notified when I am live, because it probably will not be scheduled. Or if you go to my Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs, I'll try and post on there when I'm going to go live. Good night, Heather. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of the month. I will see you. They leave Christmas Day, so I will be here on that Sunday for sure, the day after. So I will see you live there for sure. Good night, Carol. Thank you, Linda. All right, everybody, don't eat too much. Just kidding. Eat all you want. Bye, and I will talk to you really soon.